But let's talk about Prince William. He withdrew from an event due to an unspecified personal matter, and it's raising concerns about the state of the royal family. Do we have any more information, or do we know why Prince William pulled out of this event?
We do not know why Prince William actually pulled out of this event itself. What we do know is we can read between the lines, and we know that this is a very significant event. So this was a memorial service for late King Constantine of Greece, and this was in St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, just up the road from where Prince William lives, of course. The figure that was being that the service was for, he was the first cousin once removed of the late Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. He was as well William's godfather as well. So this was quite a significant figure. This involved the royal family of Greece. We know that Prince William called the Greek royal family to let them know that he was unable to attend. We also know that there were various other figures from other royal families from Europe. Some members of the Spanish royal family were also there in St George's Chapel as well. So we know that this was really quite a significant event for Prince William to miss. We know that he was due to partake in a reading in the order of service. It was a very last-minute cancellation as well. It's been reported that it was only 45 minutes before the event that Prince William pulled out of this event. So, you know, this is a very significant event for him to pull out of. It was a very last-minute decision, which signifies some urgency here. What we do know is that palace officials have been very insistent that the Princess of Wales's recovery is going well, that Princess Catherine, they very much implied that this wasn't due to Princess Catherine as well. So you know, there are questions being asked. The palace haven't been totally transparent. They have just said this is a personal matter. What we do know, also reading between the lines, and you know, this is pure speculation. This might have nothing to do with this, but it has been very widely reported that King Charles is very much starting to firm up his succession plans. And we know that succession planning wasn't due to start at least for another couple of years. So reading between the lines, there may be some urgency. There is definitely something going on. Something isn't right about this. And it's not necessarily due to Princess Catherine's condition. We know that she wasn't going to be seen in public until at least Easter, until probably at least April, if not May. We know that she had a very serious surgery. She was in hospital for 2 weeks. So we know her condition is serious enough, but the palace are saying that her recovery is going well. It's going very much to plan. That's what palace officials are saying. But this is a serious matter. This is not normal. This is almost unprecedented for a member of the royal family, a very senior member of the royal family, to pull out of an event like this with other significant public figures at the last minute, up to 45 minutes, under an hour before the event was due to start, when other European members of the royal family, other members of European royal families were there at the event. What we do know is that Her Majesty the Queen was actually leading the pack of royals at this event. So that might signify that the personal matter might not necessarily be due to His Majesty the King. We know that Prince William has 3 young children. So this could really be anything. The palace aren't going to comment about this specific matter. We know that Prince William is a private person living in the public eye. So they're being as transparent as they want to be. There is still lots of mystery here, but something isn't quite right.
Yeah, look, it's good to hear that Princess Catherine is reportedly doing well post her surgery. I suppose there's still so much that's not clear about the King's cancer diagnosis and his condition that he's in, but I really want to hone in on what royal sources are saying, that succession planning has already begun. And as you say, this is unprecedented and years ahead of schedule.
Absolutely. And I mean, listen, it might not necessarily be that urgent. I mean, we saw with Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral just how detailed that was. It was a huge 10-day operation, Operation London Bridge, leading up to the state funeral of Her late Majesty the Queen. This is a huge operation, handled absolutely seamlessly because this was years in the planning. The succession plan was being planned for almost decades in advance. We know that UK broadcasters even rehearse every single year the monarch's death. So I think King Charles III's cancer diagnosis, whilst it highlights a need maybe to start the planning in advance, it might be just a nod to start planning. It might suggest that his condition is more serious than the palace are letting on. We know that the palace haven't specified what type of cancer His Majesty the King has. So we don't quite know the severity of it. We know that he's undergoing inpatient treatment. He's going back and forth between the royal residences and London. We know he's staying in Clarence House. So we don't know how serious it is. The succession planning, or the need to start the planning for succession, it might just be because we know that his reign, regardless, we know that he started his reign at a far later, more progressed age than her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was very young when she started her reign. It was a record-setting reign, the longest-serving monarch in our country's history. We know that. And we celebrated that at her Platinum Jubilee. So we know that King Charles will not have a reign like that. So maybe the succession planning is simply because the reign is going to be shorter, so arrangements need to be firmed up more quickly, and maybe the cancer diagnosis was at least an indicator that the palace might have to accelerate those plans. Saying that, the palace aren't saying how advanced His Majesty the King's condition is. So again, there are still lots of unanswered questions there.
Josh Rom, it is always fascinating to get your insights and analysis. Thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on the new show.
Thanks, Josh.